Welcome back to English Class with Amber. Remember, if you enjoy the video, give us a like and subscribe below. Today's video is an introduction to the simple past tense. We will review when and why we use the simple past tense, the verb conjugations, spelling rules, pronunciation, and then we'll finish with some practice sentences. First, when and why do we use the simple past tense? We use the simple past tense to talk about an action that starts in the past and finishes in the past. Simple past sentences are about completed actions. For example, last year I changed jobs. Yesterday I walked to work. Let's review the verb conjugation. Every verb is the same in the simple past tense. We just add an ed to the end of the verb. It looks like this. I worked, you worked, he worked, she worked, it worked, they worked, we worked. Example words and phrases that you commonly hear in the simple past tense are yesterday, last weekend, last year, in 1998, or some other specific year, before now, 5 minutes ago, a month ago, this morning. Let's look at the spelling rules. Usually, we just add an ed, but if the verb ends in a vowel plus consonant, we double the final consonant and then add the ed. For example, stop ends in op, a vowel consonant. So we must double the p and add ed. Stop becomes stopped. stopped. Another example, commit becomes committed. committed. The other spelling rule is for verbs ending in consonant plus y. If a verb ends in consonant plus y, we have to change the y to an I and then add ed. For example, study ends in dy. So we must cross out the y, change it to an I, and then add ed. Another example, try becomes tried. tried. There are 3 ways to pronounce the ed in the simple past tense. You will need to memorize these 3 rules. We pronounce ed as id when the verb ends in t or d. For example, need becomes needed. Lend, lended. Want, wanted. Wait, waited. The second pronunciation option is d. We pronounce the ed as d for verbs that end in a voiced sound. Notice, d is also voiced. To help you remember, if the base form of the verb ends in a voiced sound, the ed should also be voiced. So call becomes called. Use becomes used. Love, loved. Offer, offered. The third and final way to pronounce the ed is t. We pronounce the ed as t for verbs ending in a voiceless sound. Notice, t is voiceless. So if the verb ends in a voiceless sound, the ed is also pronounced voiceless. Some examples are walk, walked, look, looked, laugh, laughed, watch, watched. Very good, everybody. Let's practice what we learned. Here are 10 practice sentences. Pause your computer, correctly conjugate and spell the verbs, and also write the ed pronunciation. After you've finished, press play to check your answers. Number 1. My family enjoyed the concert last night. Number 2. She studied law at Harvard. Number 3. Your doctor called with the test results. Number 4. Yesterday, we waited in traffic for 2 hours. Number 5. Sales decreased by 10% last quarter. Number 6. I graduated from high school in 2015. Number 7. Last weekend, we stopped for ice cream after the park. Number 8. He worked as a journalist before he moved to the United States. Number 9. We watched the new movie and laughed the entire time. It was hilarious. Number 10. Congress needed 2 more votes to pass the bill. Excellent job, everybody. Thank you for class today. Remember, if you like the video, subscribe below for more classes. See you next time.